Welcome back, everybody. Nice warm day here in Florida. Another package from Amazon came in. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use this smart charger to charge our batteries. I'm going to get on my phone and look at that RoyPow fish app, and we'll look at it before charging, and then we'll look at it like halfway through. And then we're going to give away that battery charger right there as a contest. So hey, stay tuned, hit the like button, subscribe, use the bell notification, make sure you get all the updates, and later in the video you'll see how to win that charger right there. So let's get to it. So this charger came in. It's one of the lowest cost chargers on the internet. The one I'm giving away is from RoyPow itself. It's a 3 amp hour battery. This is great for lithium batteries that are smaller. So if you have like electric bikes and things like that that are 6 amp hours or 12 amp hours, 18 amp hours, 30 amp hours, this will do just fine. But at 3 amps to charge this thing, if I was going to leave it on as a trickle charger, that would be great, you know, because it would take what, 3 into 100 is 30 some odd hours. So that's not going to cut it. This one right here, they make two different models. I have the P35, which charges at 25 amps for all the AGM and lead acid and whatnot, and 12 volt and 18 amps in the 24 volt configuration. If you have a 36 volt or a 48 volt configuration, you have to go up. Now I believe at this 35 amp, I said 25, but I meant 35, the battery has a little switch on it, which I'll show you. I haven't actually read these. Oops, I just ripped the instructions, but I kind of looked at the back panel, which has a quick instruction. It pretty much shows you what's going to go on. So there's a little manual, but if you look at this panel, you have a little selector switch. So you have 10 amp and 5 amp. Then the next button over is 20 amp and 10 amp. And the next button over is 35 amp and 18 amp. So I wanted that 35 amp for my lifepo4 battery. So I'll switch this all the way over. Then I'll get in the mode when I plug it in. And we will hit that button till it goes over to here. Then you'll see the screen. And this smart charger will automatically know it's a LiPo and do the 35 amp. Anyways, so you get the idea. I guess one of these will light up. So let's hook it up and see what it looks like. This comes, I'll have a link to this in the Amazon, in the description for Amazon. It comes with 2 connectors, and it comes with this battery here, or excuse me, this power cord for AC here. And then what is this? Oh, it has a couple little nugs. Now people wonder what these lugs are for, and I will tell you real quickly. This goes into the charger itself, but if you wanted to cut these off and actually make the lugs, you know, put those lugs on where it would attach to the battery, then you can leave that dangling and only, you know, plug it in when you go to plug the battery into the charger, which is probably what I will do later. I will probably buy another one of these, and that way I'll just have these 2 leads connected separately to those batteries, and that way I won't have to worry about it. So it's nice that we have the lugs here. Also, I wanted to point out for you guys that are just new into lithium and batteries, for you bass boat guys, you know, we hear a lot about, you know, sometimes a fire will happen, or this, that, or the other. Somebody sparks their battery up or whatever. So you really want to kind of keep your battery separate from your gas if you can. And the other thing is, this is a lifepo4 battery. That means it has a lithium iron phosphate chemistry. A regular lithium battery has lithium ion, which has cobalt in its mixture of chemicals. And I'm no battery guru, but I know that that's the difference. So the difference is, the older lithium batteries, they can really heat up and potentially explode or something like that. If these get overheated or something, you know, because you're charging at 200 amps or something and you didn't have a safety valve, it would probably just bust a seam and smoke or whatnot. Lot less cause of a fire starting is what I'm trying to say. Probably why they don't let them on airplanes. So if you look on this charger, when you're hitting that mode button, you got lifepo4, you got lithium's way over here. So make sure if you're charging lifepo4, you select that one, and if you're charging lithium, this. And then if you're doing lead acid batteries with this charger, it'll just automatically determine whether you got an AGM or a whatever, you know, sealed or regular dry cell or whatever. So that's a little tip for you today. Let me set this down and get it hooked up, and we'll turn on that app and see what's happening. I have my AC turned on, or plugged in. I have the leads going to the battery plugged in. So now all I have to do is turn the switch on. Now I've already set that to the 35 amps. There you see it powering up. Right now it's just saying off because it says lead acid, but we don't want that. We're going to switch over to LiFePO4. Now it's on LiFePO4. 32 degrees, 12.8 volts what it has, 5.3 amps is where it starts off. It'll probably slowly start ramping up. You can hear it. Yep, now it's 9.4 amps. So we're going to turn this off for a moment because we're going to check the app to see where this battery is. Even though right here it's saying it's going up, it's a 12 volt battery, and you can see it's only about 20%. So let me turn this off and we'll see what the app says. Okay, so it's at 12.9 volts, showing 0 power. This will show you the voltage of each minimum and maximum and the average and what the difference is. And then it's going to show you it's only been cycled one time. I've not charged this yet, so just that one little time. It's a 100 amp hour battery, actual capacity at 100%. But then down here it shows you each of the cells in the battery, which is kind of interesting. And it shows you their temperatures. So this shows you the cells down here as well, how many volts they are right at the moment. So they're not quite balanced. 3.239, 3.239. They're all 3.9 except for that last one. It's 3.0. I guess that is within 1%. Okay, so we're going to turn this charger on, then we'll come back to this and see what it says. Hope you're paying attention, boys and girls, because here's the first part of winning this battery charger, the RoyPow C45, 14.4 volts at 3 amps. Good for all these smaller batteries, would take you forever on a big battery. But that's a smart charger by RoyPow, so I'm going to send that out free of charge. And the first condition is you have to live in the continental United States. You know, I'm sorry, but it costs me money to ship stuff, costs me money to buy stuff. I just don't have that much money, but the main reason is customs and things like that. So if you live in the United States, you're good to go. So let's keep watching. I've got the RoyPow app open, like I said, so we're going to turn this charger on. Everything is hooked up, AC to the battery. That's switched to 25. Let's hit the switch. And as it's charging, you see I've already put it in LiFePO mode, so it shows off. It'll slowly kick on, and like before, you can hear the fans going on. It's ramping up. I guess I should have gotten my meter and seen exactly what that was out, but according to the manual, the meter, it's at 12.9. So we're going to let that run for a little while. It keeps amping up. It's at 33 degrees Celsius, 13.3 volts, so it's already gone up some. This is 35 amps, so that's pretty quick charging. We're at 21.6 amps right now. So you get the basic idea. We'll check back on this, and we'll then check the app to see how far it's moved along. So this is really great for your boaters. You know, this app, not only can you monitor it while you walk away, as long as you're within Bluetooth distance, but you can do it while you're out on your boat and stuff as well. You can see how much battery juice you got left. I've got the battery hooked up. If you look at this, you got 0.3 amp hours, 36 degrees Celsius, 14 volts right now, 32 amps going into it. You go over to here, I haven't recycled this, but you can see 30.9 amps it's showing. showing 13.4 volts. So let me shut this down and we'll check it again in a little bit. Let's see what we got here. We've got 31.4 amps, 2.2 amp hours, 36 degrees Celsius, 14.3 volts, 31.4 amps charging. So we're not quite 35 amps that's charging. However, I did notice this cord's a little warm. Not real hot or anything, nothing to freak out about, but it is a little warm. However, I'm running it off a very long extension cord. So that's a long extension cord. It's wrapped around, it's probably 75 or 100 feet. If I was just plugged directly in, I wouldn't have that much resistance. And this is a, you know, a cheap extension cord. It's not like it's a heavy duty contractor. So just bear in mind, you don't really use an extension cord with these. But so far, the Smart battery charger is doing pretty good. But look how good the little cells are doing. 3.339, 3.339, 3.338. That one hasn't switched yet. The last one is the same. But I mean, they're all now, you know, they're like 0.001 of each other, which is really kind of cool. Well, right now we got 1% power. So I've only been charging a couple minutes. We'll watch that needle go up as it continues. So it'll probably take, let's see, at 30 amps, 3.5 hours. So we'll check it a little later on. The battery's been charging for about 30 minutes now. You can see it's at 16%. It's at 13.3 volts. Amps going in is 19.4. Since I switched this over to 20 amps instead of 35, the cables are way cooler. So there's hardly any warmth in them now, and the terminals themselves are not that warm. So I'm going to disconnect these. I also, before I go, I screwed those down just to make sure they were tight. They were loose before. So I'm going to disconnect those. I'm going to take it off of this extension, and we're going to put it over there real close on the plug so that just the charger by itself is plugged in. And we're going to put it back at 35 amps and see what happens. Stay tuned. Hit those bell updates. Let me know, you know, for the updates, and let me know what you think in the comments. And stay tuned, because we're going to be giving that thing away with the secret words you need. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it. So I've taken the terminals and tightened those up. I'll probably put those little round rings on them. Can't think of them what they're called right now. I put this back up to 35 amps. I plugged it directly in the wall. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to see what happens. And just in case if you're wondering now, the second part to win this, I already told you I'm only shipping to the United States, continental United States. Sorry about that once again. But in order to win this in the comments, you have to have a thumbs up because you like the video. We're trying to get a couple hundred likes on this video. And you need to put the word boogers, B-O-O-G-E-R-S. And if you're wondering why boogers is the secret word, it's because I was in a forum, we were talking about something, and I'm a pretty simple guy, and anyways, this person said, oh, you're kind of childlike, you know, you should grow up a little bit, something along those lines. And I went, oh, and I replied, oh, boogers. So, because, you know, that's what a 6th grader would do. So that's the magic word. Put that in the comments down below. So you can see now we're at 35 on the button. We're still at LiPo. We're at 13.8 volts, 29.7 amps. And I'll come back, we'll check these wires, and then we'll turn on the app and see how much is charged. I went over to the battery, and I'm holding the wires, and they're a hair warm. I mean, as compared to the ambient temperature out here, which is hot anyways, because it's a very hot day. But nothing to be concerned about. Of course, that's not very scientific. I don't have one of those heat guns to go zoom in on it. And what are the name of these things that I was telling you? Terminal ring connectors? Maybe next time I go to shop class, I should pay attention. Anyways, so let's check where we're at right now. We're at 23%, 13.4 volts, 30.7 amps going into that baby. Very nice. The cells 363, 365, 362, 363, all really close. Very nice. We'll check back in a little bit, and that'll be our last check-in, and you can tell me in the comments what you think of this whole experience. Oh, another thing about that charger over there, I did check the wires and whatnot. It does have a smell, you know, when you get that first time electronic smell, like it's burning the stuff off of the board or something. It was pretty bad when it first cranked up for a little bit. Now it's getting better. I can barely smell it at all, so that's good. I have not touched the terminals on that, but remember they do have the terminal heat cutoff sensors, so if they did get too hot, theoretically the BMS would shut that battery down anyways. But they're not, you know, they're warm to the touch, but not like they were really warm, you know, when I had it in the extension cord. So I would feel pretty confident, you know, after I get done with this, to tell you this is fine. I'll have links in the description to that charger, these batteries, and the charger I'm giving away. Don't forget, boogers. Okay, be back in a while. I had to leave for a while, kids, so when I came back, it's been about 3.5 hours. You can see this going on, off, on, off. And what happened was, I put my app on. The battery is now 100% charged. So you got nothing going in right now, okay? It's totally charged at 13.4 or whatever. But look here, cell over volt protection turned on. So the BMS has shut down the battery from being charged now. So let me go get the other battery, and I should put it right in, and it'll probably, this charger should start right up and start charging that one. See if that warning goes away when I turn it off and recycle it. We hooked the other battery up. We'll turn this on and let's see what the charger does with this battery. And it's reading through like it should. So this degrees Celsius, that's the temperature of inside the charger. So if this thing overheats, it's going to shut off. And so now we're at 13 amps going to it. So while that's going on, we will put the RoyPow on to see if the other battery has reset itself yet. Yeah, and it has. So that's good to know. Oh, no, it hasn't yet. Cell over volt protection is still showing. So that might take a couple minutes for that battery to reset. I decided to move the battery out of the shed over at my friend's and bring it back here. I hooked it into the electric box over there. I'm running it at 20 amps. So I want to see if it trips the overload like it did on the other battery. Tomorrow, when I go back over there, I'm going to bring a 12-volt van with me and run the battery down a little bit to see if that overload that's been tripped now goes back off, because I left that other battery there, which it probably will, but that's a good sign. I could use the solar here, but the wife did a bunch of stuff and she's running the air conditioner. Actually, all the batteries are charged here. I could have just run it off the solar, but I've already got it plugged in back there. So I need to dig out the little fan that I'll use, because that's the only 12-volt appliance I have that I can connect to that other battery and run it down a little bit. So I'll come back out here later tonight when this battery's fully charged around 9 o'clock or so, running it at, be about another 4 hours, I guess, running it at 20 amps. And we will see if it gets loaded up. And there's that fan right there from my camper. All right, kids, hold steady. And I can't, because I don't have a cigarette adapter to run that 12-volt band. Boys and girls, frogs and tadpoles, check that out. The app is working all the way through the trailer, which is a metal box picking up that Bluetooth. That's pretty awesome. So that means I'll have no problem with it on the boat. 13.4 volts is charging at 19.5 amps. So that's pretty awesome. Now if I can just find a 12-volt appliance, drain that other battery, we'll be cooking with gas. Alright kids, so it's, what is it, 10 o'clock at night. Battery's finally at 100%. So I'm going to go outside and look at it. And the same thing, cell overvolt protection. So I guess the BMS is shutting it down a little quicker than the actual charger is. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. You'll have to let me know in the comments. But let's go look at it and see if the charger's going on and off like the last one. Okay, just like the other battery, this little charger comes on. It realizes that the BMS has cut it off, and then it shuts off. So I'm going to take that back over where the other battery is tomorrow, and we will see what happens. I will drain both of those down a little bit, see if that over warning comes down, and I'll also put an amp meter on there and see if they charged to the exact same voltage. See how that works out. To me, it'll be overnight. To you, it'll be in a couple seconds. Oh man, the things I do for you people. Alrighty, went out and got me a little adapter so I could plug in this fan. It's the only 12-volt gizmo I have to draw down some juice. So what's going on is both batteries are showing cell overload protection. So these got all the way charged up. The BMS did their job. It shut off saying no more juice. So even if my charger was putting juice, it wouldn't accept it. That's good. This charger, what happens is, since it has a mechanical switch, it will go on. It will sense that the BMS is off. It'll go off. A second later, it'll go on. Sense that this is shut down, it'll go off. And it'll keep doing that because it has a mechanical switch. You would think that they would put something in there that would sense that and override it, but they don't. So it's a good charger. Charged everything up in a timely fashion. And once I plugged it into a wall socket, you know, instead of an extension cord, it never got really warm or anything like that. So it's real good. I appreciate that charger, and the batteries, the PowerUrus, are doing real good. So what we're going to do now is plug that fan in, and after we draw down some juice, we're going to see if that cell overvolt protection goes off, you know, and switches on the RoyPow fish app. Stand by, it might take a while. So we got our fan going at the highest setting, and right now that fan is drawing 3 amps. Let's see if I turn it down to 2. Let's see if that drops down. Might take a second for the, yeah, 2 amps on setting 2. Go down to 1. And 1.2 amps on the first setting. So let's put it back up. That's pretty cool. We'll see how long it takes to see if that warning signal goes away. Boys and girls, this battery, this fan's been running over an hour. So this is the other battery, and what I want to show you is, see right here, it says charge MOS off, and it has that warning. So I'm going to switch over to the battery that now has that fan going. As you can see on this battery, the 27, now that charge MOS is on. So the warning hasn't gone away. I don't know if those warnings go away or not, but it shows that that is on. So I've got this little load tester. I don't know what that's going to do. That's for a 12-volt battery and cranking amps. I don't know if it'll draw too much amps. I don't know if I should try that or not. Alright, this battery tester, I guess, has 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. I don't know how you switch between steps. Guess it does it automatically. But 1 step equals 50 cranking amps. Well, we'll see if this BMS in this battery shuts off or what happens. Hope I don't have to buy another battery. Alright, we're hooked up, kids. We're going to see what this thing does when I hold this battery. It's doing something. It's pulling amps. Oh, there you go. Negative 20.3 amps. Well, I guess it only does it for a second. Or maybe I hold it. Yeah, I got to hold it. 54 amps, 96 amps. Pulling the crap out of it now. Gotta hold the button now. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, it's like a heating element, like a toaster. I see. 96 amps. Pulling the shit out of it now. BMS hasn't gone off. Okay, I'm gonna shut it. Oh, there you go. Rock on. You see that? So once it drew it down enough, that warning went away and everything is cool. How awesome is that? So the battery is, the PowerUrus is doing great. The BMS works fantastic. The app works with it good. Very happy so far with these results. So we will go ahead and do a bigger test later with a trolling motor when I get one. That may be, you know, half a year from now by the time I can afford one. So anyways, guys, if you like the video and you like what's happening, put the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon for more things, and use the links. You know, when you buy stuff, it costs you nothing more, and it gives me a little bit of a kickback, so to speak, referral fee. It's not much, but it helps me bring you videos. Thanks.